making a waste-free future happen together. Your partner for change, CalRecycle is advancing world-leading reforms to cut waste and build circular use systems for all materials.
California targets confusing recycling labels. The new truth in labeling requirements triggered by CalRecycle's latest milestone. Plus new industry-run stewardship programs for textiles and loose batteries, how you can help shape the rules. And cutting waste with refill stations.
We went right after this grant because we saw the value in it.
The latest awards to help communities use less and reuse the rest. CalRecycle's monthly public meeting starts now.
Happy Earth Month, everyone. Thanks for joining us for CalRecycle's Earth Month April 2025 monthly public meeting. This year's Earth Month theme is Our Power, Our Planet. We have important progress and updates to share today. Before we begin, here's a message from CalRecycle Director Zoe Heller.
Happy Earth Day and Earth Month to everybody. I'm very excited to host our public meeting on Earth Day. As you know, we generally do our public meetings on the third Tuesday. We kicked it to the fourth, not only so that we could have it on Earth Day, but also because a number of us were on spring break last week. So it worked out perfectly. We're going to go forward with our usual agenda today. Nothing too out of the ordinary or special for Earth Day, but quickly before we jump into that, I do think Earth Day gives us a great opportunity to just reflect and remember why we do our work. CalRecycle is under CalEPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, and our mission for all of the CalEPA BDOs is really focused on protecting the earth and protecting communities. And, I don't want to oversimplify our work, but it's really nice when we think about all of our initiatives and how they lead us to a better earth, particularly in some of these really challenging times we're in right now, and safer, healthier, more inclusive communities. So with that, I just want to acknowledge all of our staff at CalRecycle, our mission-driven staff who work tirelessly to achieve our mission, to get the work done, to get the grants out the door, our regulations written, clean up the disaster debris, get permits out. I mean, each and every one of the activities we do here is not only driven by our program staff, but also all of the other staff in our department that support them, from our admin teams, from legal to our ledge teams who assist getting legislation across the finish line, to those that make it possible for us to hold the meeting here. So I meant to ask how many staff we have at CalRecycle because we're constantly growing. I think we're a little over 800. Does that sound right? 850. And I just want to, just take a step back and acknowledge everybody. For those of you that have been attending our public meetings for quite some time, you probably remember after each item, we used to thank all the staff that worked on that item. If we were to do that now, these meetings would probably go until like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, and we wouldn't want to do that to you all. In addition to thanking our staff, I see a number of familiar interested parties in the room, as well as some that I haven't met before, and you all keep us motivated as well. We're really grateful for the work that you do on the ground, whether it's within the communities, whether it's advocating for policies and pushing us. And so thank you all. Thank you for your participation, contributions, patience, and enthusiasm for the work that we're all doing. So that's what I really wanted to focus on this Earth Day. Is just an acknowledgement of our team, of our stakeholders on the ground, of everybody who's coming together to really make the Earth a better place and protect our communities. So thank you all. So with that, we'll jump into our agenda. It's a packed and fun and diverse agenda today. We'll give some updates on some of our EPR programs, the workshops that are ahead. We will be talking about our truth in labeling report. We have some exciting grant updates that we'll share, and where we are on debris milestones and a number of other things. So with that, I will turn it back over to Maria.
Next on the agenda, California is advancing efforts to make sure recycling labels on products are accurate. Take a look at this short video to see how CalRecycle developed its material characterization study findings for California's truth in labeling law.
Recyclable or not, California is taking the guesswork out of recycling by making sure products marked recyclable are actually recycled in our state.
There's a lot of misconceptions of what's actually recyclable.
Answering public demand to fix the single-use trash crisis, California passed a truth in labeling law. It bans false or misleading recycling claims on products and packaging, like the chasing arrow symbol, which many falsely assume means a product is recyclable. The law directs CalRecycle to gather and evaluate data to determine which materials and which contaminants currently flow through our recycling stream. CalRecycle's Field Research and Characterization Unit collects this data from the field.
We're trying to see if there's anything that's not supposed to be there. So all this data, we're going to see what people actually think goes in the bin.
And how much of these materials actually get recycled. The CalRecycle data will help producers and distributors accurately label their products to meet California's strict new truth in recycling standards. Truthful labels empowering California consumers to recycle more deliberately and lead California to a waste-free future.
CalRecycle published the SB 343 Material Characterization Study final findings for 2023-2024 on April 4th, 2025. SB 343 requires CalRecycle to collect and publish specific information to help interested parties determine whether products or packaging of a given material type and form meet the state's criteria to be labeled recyclable. Producers must use this and other data to determine if their products can include recycling labeling, including the chasing arrow symbol. CalRecycle is not directed to determine recyclability. Producers who can't demonstrate their products and packaging meet the law's criteria can't use recycling labeling on those products if they are manufactured after October 4th, 2026. Which is 18 months after CalRecycle published its final findings. This prohibition applies to labeling. It does not prevent local recycling programs from accepting a product or material, prevent facilities from sorting the material, or require producers to move to alternative materials. Improper label claims may be challenged by affected parties, district attorneys, or California's Attorney General. SB 343 directs CalRecycle to update the study in 2027 and every 5 years after that to keep updated with current recyclability of materials. CalRecycle will continuously improve its methodology and approach to support a broad look at recyclability of materials across the state. Study findings are linked to today's agenda and available on CalRecycle's website. As Director Heller mentioned, CalRecycle remains committed to advancing California's plastic and packaging reforms. The department will be holding an informal public workshop on May 27th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. here in Cali, PA headquarters building in the Byron Scher Auditorium. The purpose of this workshop is to informally consult with the public, the regulated community, and other interested persons to solicit feedback regarding the draft regulations. More information will be forthcoming through the listserv and will be available on SB 54 Plastic Pollution and Packaging Producer Responsibility Act Permanent Regulations Rulemaking's webpage prior to that meeting. The 2025 nomination period for the Packaging Producer Responsibility Advisory Board closed on March 28th. New appointments will be announced before July 1st. The advisory board met last Friday to discuss draft regulations, needs assessment studies, economic impacts, and recommendations from the Producer Responsibility Organization regarding operational readiness. The next advisory board meeting is scheduled for May 16th in the Sierra Hearing Room at Cali, PA headquarters. For more information, visit CalRecycle's Packaging Producer Responsibility Advisory Board webpage and subscribe to the SB 54 email listserv. And now onto the textiles topic. There's a new date for CalRecycle's first Textile Stewardship Informational Workshop. Join us in person or virtually on July 17th for an overview of California's groundbreaking Responsible Textile Recovery Act, which holds industry responsible for making sure their products get collected, repaired, reused, and recycled. Staff will provide an overview of the law and its requirements. producer responsibility organization requirements, and California's rulemaking process. CalRecycle will also host an informal public rulemaking workshop for the Responsible Battery Recycling Act implementation. Join us on May 29th at 1 p.m. to share your feedback on a draft of the proposed regulations to establish a stewardship program for the collection and recycling of loose batteries. Join us in person or virtually and submit your written comments after the workshop. Find more details linked to today's agenda. And sign up for our battery program email listserv on CalRecycle's website. Today, we're also announcing $46.2 million for 9 beverage container quality infrastructure grantees. Grant funds will help with infrastructure costs to create clean streams of beverage container materials from existing curbside recycling or drop-off collection programs. Learn more about each grant project by clicking the link on today's agenda. Additionally, we're awarding $3 million to 15 beverage container recycling grant program recipients to bring more recycling bins and water refill stations like the ones in this short video.
More Californians are turning to water refill stations to quench their thirst and cut plastic waste.
Recycling is good, but if we can prevent the need for it, it's even better.
And CalRecycle grants can help cover the cost.
We went right after this grant because we saw the value in it. The life cycle of a water bottle is a very resource-heavy, carbon emission-heavy process, from the extraction of the oil, creation of the plastic, the creation of the plastic water bottle, filling of the water bottle, transportation of the water bottle. You buy it at the store, bring it home. Now you have the water bottle to recycle. But what if we didn't have to go through that whole life cycle to begin with?
With $1.5 million available each year, California cities, counties, schools, nonprofits, and tribes can reduce plastic pollution and save cash with state-funded water refill stations.
There's so many benefits of having access to water in public places. People will stay longer, exercise longer.
In Humboldt County, Eureka residents can ditch single-use disposables for reusable water bottles with 15 grant-funded refill stations at public parks and recreation areas.
As filling a reusable water bottle becomes more convenient than spending the money on the plastic water bottles, it's going to justify even more for people to bring their water bottle because they see that there.
Check out CalRecycle's funding page to see which types of projects are eligible for grants.
Grant funds will also help bring more recycling collection projects to underserved areas, including disadvantaged communities and tribal entities. Today, CalRecycle is also announcing the approval of a recycling market development zone loan in the amount of $251,800. The loan is for Rubber Recovery Incorporated, a manufacturer based in Fontana, California, that processes off-the-road tires from Los Angeles haulers and creates a material sold for use in molded products, including flooring, running tracks, molded flexible playground surfaces, and gardening mulch. This loan will help finance 2 refurbished granulators to boost production. Disaster debris removal for the 2024 wildfire season has reached key milestones in the last month. Incident management teams are deployed to operational centers in Chico and Bakersfield to oversee wildfire recovery programs for 4 2024 wildfires. The Park Fire, one of the most geographically expansive in state history, has reached the halfway point. The Thompson Fire in Oroville is 50% complete, and bulk debris removal is complete for Lake County Boyles Fire. Before properties can be returned to their owners, soil testing, erosion control, and final inspections are required. For Kern County's Burrell Fire, only 4 properties remain for debris removal, and 84% have passed site inspections and have been returned to the property owners for rebuilding.
We have several updates on California's stewardship programs for pharmaceutical and sharps waste. On March 31st, 2025, CalRecycle received 2024 annual reports and 2026 annual program budgets for Med Project and the Drug Take-Back Solution Foundation's Drugs and Sharps programs. These documents are currently being reviewed by CalRecycle for whether they comply with statutory, regulatory, and stewardship plan requirements. CalRecycle has 90 days to issue determinations of compliance with a statutory deadline in the law of June 30th, 2025. On March 28, 2025, MedProject submitted a proposal to CalRecycle to modify its stewardship plan for drugs covered by the law, introducing a proposed tiered approach to reasonable geographic spread based on the number of authorized collection sites per county. CalRecycle is reviewing this as a significant change to the stewardship plan. CalRecycle is accepting public comments on these submitted documents through April 21st, 2025. CalRecycle will present our determinations at a future CalRecycle monthly public meeting. For more information and documents, they are available on the public notice links on the agenda for this public meeting. To stay informed, subscribe to CalRecycle's Pharmaceutical and Sharps EPR program email listserv.
Every year, CalRecycle must make sure payment rates in the covered electronic waste recycling program cover the average net cost of collecting and recycling discarded video display devices. This year, adjustments must be determined by July 1st. The following proposals are based on 2024 weighted average net costs per pound to recover and recycle covered e-waste, the estimated reasonable rate of profit or return on investment, and additional factors that affect the markets, like labor costs. Based on this information, staff recommends maintaining the standard statewide recovery payment rate for collectors at 40 cents per pound for all covered electronic waste, increasing the standard statewide combined recovery and recycling payment from $1.13 per pound to $1.19 per pound for cathode ray tube, or CRT, covered electronic waste, and increasing the standard statewide combined recovery and recycling payment rate from $1.15 per pound to $1.16 per pound for non-CRT covered electronic waste. Proposed rates were presented at a workshop for interested parties on April 8th. CalRecycle staff recommends that the director approve the recovery and recycling payment rates and directs staff to make the necessary filings with the Office of Administrative Law to enact the regulations. The Los Angeles Regional Agency was formed in 2004 under a joint powers agreement to address solid waste management issues for its member jurisdictions. You can see the 18 member cities on this map. In 2024, the Joint Powers Agreement and Regional Agency Agreement was amended. The new agreement recognizes and authorizes compliance with AB 939, AB 341, AB 1826, and SB 1383 and associated regulations. It also designates the joint powers as the responsible authority to coordinate, administer, and implement compliance with SB 1383 on behalf of all parties. The submitted documents related to the amendments were reviewed by CalRecycle and legal counsel and are found to be complete. This item has been approved. Next, CalRecycle is required to review and approve or disapprove each county-wide integrated waste management plan 5-year review report. These reports are comprehensive analyses of planning documents, which may be impacted by changes to demographics, disposal capacities, funding, and diversion programs. The County of El Dorado submitted a 5-year review report for its countywide integrated waste management plan, concluding no revisions to the county's planning documents are necessary at this time. This item was approved. Next on the agenda is the adoption of a 5-year plan for the Waste Tire Recycling Management Program. It's updated every 2 years. Key changes to the latest edition include bringing back a tire equipment loan program. The annual $1 million budget will help provide low-interest loans for tire-derived product manufacturing. The plan also increases funding for language access services, as well as our rubberized pavement grant program, the tire incentive grant program, and tire-derived aggregate and rubberized asphalt concrete research. The latest version of the plan has been approved. Thanks to everyone for your feedback following our December workshop. We also have a quick announcement on CalRecycle's annual reallocation of unspent tire funds to other tire programs in need of more funding. $221,786 was reallocated to fund the local government waste tire cleanup grant program. Last July, CalRecycle awarded $1.25 million to 14 eligible applicants. Remaining eligible applicants were put on a list in case more funding became available. This reallocation will fund tire cleanup grants to Bakersfield, Hesperia, San Diego, Modesto, and Tuolumne counties. $165,000 is also being reallocated to support the Holler program's manifest printing and mailing costs to boost CalRecycle data collection. Mark DeBee and Kara Morgan have approved the reallocations. Solid waste and tire facilities permits and emergency waivers are up next. Environmental Program Manager Paulina Lawrence will share a quick overview of California facility standards and a statewide facility permit update in this video.
To keep Californians healthy and protect our land, food, water, and air, CalRecycle and local enforcement agencies work together. Local enforcement agencies get community input, process permit applications, conduct inspections, and make sure solid waste facilities follow the law. CalRecycle verifies that permits for solid waste facilities, including landfills and compost sites, comply with state standards and inspections. Agreeing with the LEA that a permit is ready to be issued is known as concurring. Additionally, CalRecycle reviews approved emergency waivers and can modify, limit, or end them. Emergency waivers temporarily modify solid waste facility permits for up to 120 days and may be extended, providing relief for facility operators during disasters, and they're approved by local enforcement agencies. For waste tire facilities, CalRecycle issues and enforces waste tire facility permits to make sure tires are stored and processed safely. Scan this QR code or visit CalRecycle's website for more detailed information.
Those solid waste facility permit and waste tire facility permit action items the department concurred on or issued from last month are: for Shasta County, CalRecycle has found that the proposed permit has met all the state requirements for Anderson Landfill, Inc. It was concurred on April 10, 2025. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle's permit action date was April 12, 2025. Continuing on this month's agenda, for Kern County, U.S. Borax Inc. This is a modified solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by May 30th, 2025. For Monterey County, AgroThrive Inc. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by May 30th, 2025. For San Joaquin County, K Export. This is a new minor waste tire facility permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 8th, 2025. For Orange County, Stanton Recycling and Transfer Facility. This is a modified solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for the permit action by May 5th, 2025. For Kern County, Mojave Rosamond Recycling and Sanitary Landfill. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by May 12th, 2025. New to this month's agenda for Kern County, South Kern Industrial Center, LLC. This is a modified solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision on this permit action by May 27th, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes. Removal of the local enforcement agency condition 17J, which states all piled materials or waste, including compost overs, feedstocks, bulking agents, and screen piles, shall not exceed 16 feet in height. And on updates to the Report of Facility Information, or RFI. For Sacramento County, JAF Tire Recycling, LLC. This is a new minor waste tire facility permit. CalRecycle must make a decision on this permit action item by September 20th, 2025. The new minor waste tire facility permit will allow the facility to store up to 4,999 waste tires on the premises at any one time. The TPID number is 1954697, and the application was accepted on March 24th, 2025. The department has until September 20th, 2025 to issue a new minor waste tire permit. For Los Angeles County, Universal Waste Systems, Inc., Material Recovery Facility and Transfer Station. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit by May 27, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes. Increasing the permitted maximum tonnage from 1,500 tons per day to 2,500 tons per day. Increasing the design capacity from 1,500 tons per day to 2,500 tons per day. And then expanding the permitted hours of operation from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday for receipt of waste, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday for operations and transfer, to 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Sunday for receipt of waste, and then 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday for operations within the facility, and then 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for operations within the buildings. For Santa Barbara County, Tahigas Sanitary Landfill and Resource Recovery Center. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit by May 30th, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes. Increasing the permitted hours of operation for waste, receipt, disposal, and composting operations from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday and Tuesday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday, to 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Increasing the permitted maximum tonnage from 1,500 tons per day to 9,000 tons per week. Increasing the permitted disposal area from 118 acres to 132.25 acres. Increasing the design capacity from 23.3 million cubic yards to 29.4 million cubic yards. Increasing the maximum elevation from 620 mean sea level to 650 mean sea level. And then updating the estimated closure year from 2036 to 2038. For Merced County, this is Agraman Merced Highway 59 Compost Facility. This is a new solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit by June 2nd, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following design parameters of the proposed project. The proposed project is for a composting facility that will receive a maximum of 400 tons per day and 75,000 tons of material per year. The facility will operate 24 hours a day, 7 days per week. Facility operations will encompass an area of 12.5 acres. The facility will be limited to 100,000 cubic yards of material stored on site. The facility will accept agricultural material, green material, food material, digestate, mixed material, and organic material, including pre-processed material ready for composting. Waivers received by the department since the March public monthly meeting for the City of Los Angeles, CWS DTLA, Material Recovery Facility and Transfer Station, On April 3rd, 2025, the City of Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety Local Enforcement Agency granted an emergency waiver of the permitted daily tonnage until August 5th, 2025. This is due to the emergency resulting from the fires. New and not on this month's agenda for Solano County, EcoCycle Ventures, Inc. This is a new minor waste tire facility permit. CalRecycle must make a decision on this permit action by October 6th, 2025. The new minor waste tire facility permit will allow the facility to store up to 4,999 waste tires on the premises at any one time. The TPID number is 1954697. The application was accepted on April 9th, 2025. The department has until October 6th, 2025 to issue the new minor waste tire facility permit.
And those are all our topics today for CalRecycle's April 2025 public meeting. You can find more information on any of today's agenda items. Just go to CalRecycle's homepage. Please follow our social media platforms and Gov Delivery email lists for CalRecycle program updates. Thanks to everyone who participated in the public meeting. We will see you next month.